you are probably in one of two camps. You're either already using Jira and Atlassian, but your team or company are just not using it the way that you'd hoped. Or you want to use Jira and Atlassian and you want to set it up right the first time. Either way, I'm going to show you exactly how to get your team and your company running inside of Atlassian as the core operating system of everything that you do moving forward. This means that you could ditch all the spreadsheets, the Slack messages, everything's going to be consolidated in one tool, in one place where you could actually look, get all the answers that you want, know exactly what to work on next, get the visibility, reporting, and everything that you actually need from one place, from one system. So the first thing I want to go over is why teams and companies fail to use Jira. And really all of it just kind of boils down into one word. That word is complexity. And this does very heavily skew to Jira because Jira has like a lot of customization options. It gives you a lot of flexibility to do basically anything you want in a lot of different ways, but it doesn't really stop at Jira. This could apply to Asana, to Monday, to really any tool out there. And the problem is complexity. When you make your process, the thing that you want your team, your company, your whoever's using the system to follow, when you make it more complicated than it should be, more complicated than the alternative, nobody's going to end up using it. You kind of think of it as like sand falling or water falling through a funnel. It's always going to take the path of least resistance. And the people that use your system are going to do the same exact thing. If you're creating something so bureaucratic and heavy and complex and more things are in there than are actually needed or are relevant, people are just going to try to work around that system as much as they possibly can. And complexity creates what we call the chase. The chase could be chasing updates from your team, chasing the next thing to work on, chasing visibility. We call that the chase because you're constantly trying to figure out what's happening, where it's happening, what to do next, without having one place to look at as the source of truth. And the reason the chase happens at all is because you're missing what we call the execution layer. So when we build the execution layer, we kind of branded this as the grid operating system. This is what we do with our clients, but we basically explain it as your company has a goal. Your company or team, you have a goal that you're trying to achieve. You're trying to, maybe it's an IT team, right? Respond to every request coming in a timely manner. That might be a goal. Or if you're a company, you might be trying to achieve the goal of hitting X amount of revenue in the next 1 to 3 years. Those are goals. This could be KPIs, this could be OKRs, this could be EOS. It really doesn't matter, but the point is every company, every team has a goal that they're striving to achieve. And every company has tools. In this case, we're talking about Jira and Atlassian. So the goal, and most people, this is where they go wrong, right? They have the goal and they're like, cool, let's take Jira and let's try to solve our problems using this tool to hit our goals. And now, that is partially correct because you do need tools to achieve your goals. It does make your life a whole lot easier, right? But what most teams and companies miss is this. It's the execution layer. It's the thing that allows you to take your goals, the top level thing, the highest, most important North Star thing that you're doing as a team or company, and you're trying to achieve, and you implement the tool without the execution layer, which makes the tool literally pointless, right? It doesn't matter how great a tool is or how amazing your implementation is, how perfect the system you created was. If nobody uses it, it basically doesn't exist and it didn't matter in the first place. And if nobody's using it, nobody's going to help you try to achieve the goals that you're setting out to achieve. So we like to build what we call the execution layer, the grid operating system, the thing that actually helps you run your goals inside of your tools. So that's what I'll be diving into this entire course. It's going to be not only how to set Jira up to support your goals and actually in a way that makes your team actually use the system you build, but really we're going to be talking about how to build the actual execution layer of your company or your team. The thing that's going to drive everything forward, move everything forward, and actually allow you to use Jira, use Atlassian, use the tools that you're buying to your advantage, right? Not the other way around where you're just buying something, throwing it in there, and a year later you need to cancel it because nobody's using it. We're going to be building that execution layer that actually allows you to drive your goals forward and to utilize all of the components of the Atlassian suite of tools to your advantage. And really in that process, we're going to make sure that we eliminate the chase. And before I move forward and actually run through the different tools and software Atlassian currently has and what you should care, what you shouldn't care about, I want to go back to the point of making following easier than bypassing. That's really a key thing of what we do with the grid operating system. Because again, if you want someone to use the system that you're building, the thing that is intended, the thing that you want your team, your company to use, the only way to make sure and guarantee that that system is used is to make the intended system easier to follow than bypassing it. That's it. I'm going to repeat that again. You want to make the intended system easier to follow than to bypass. That is the only way to guarantee 100% adoption rates. And that's what we do at Grid.io. And there's two ways to do this. One is to make the intended solution simpler. And we could take like an IT portal as an example. I love this example because we've either all been in IT and we've received these requests, or we've requested things from IT. So we've either been on either side of the funnel, sometimes in both. So we've either requested something from IT, or we've been on the receiving side and we're agents, IT agents, right? Help desk agents, whatever you want to call them. And the intended process that we may have set up as an example is a portal, right? That might be the intended approach, the intended thing that we want our teams, our companies to use. But there is the workarounds, right? There's the Slack, there's the email, there's the walk-up, there's a phone call. These alternatives will always exist, and there's really no way to get rid of them. I'll explain exactly how you could avoid having your team actually go to them. But the biggest thing, number one, that we could do is make the intended process simpler. So what we'll do is take the portal, we'll try to remove all the complexity from it, as many required fields as we can. Make it as simple terminology as possible, 6th grade reading level, so that your grandma can understand it, right? That's really the goal. As little options with conditional logic to make the form seem so simple that it's just as easy, if not easier, than the other options. Now that's kind of the first step, right? Because we can make this as simple as we possibly can. But we're really never going to get as simple as sending a basic Slack message. Or if Rob from IT is right over there, I could say, hey, Rob, can you help me with this thing that I'm dealing with right now? That's going to be easier than going to a portal and submitting the request. Now, this is where we get to option 2, or the thing number 2 that we must do to make following easier than bypassing. And that is to make the alternative harder. And almost every company will make the intended process simpler, but they'll forget to make the alternative harder. So how can we do this practically? Well, we kind of have to do it artificially in some cases. So let's take this IT example, right? You have your portal, it's already simple, it's easy to use, it's adopted by most, but it's still not the simplest and most easiest thing to follow. How do we make the alternative harder? Well, we make it artificially harder by saying, hey, anything that doesn't come through this intended system, this intended solution, will automatically be deprioritized. Our response rates are going to be slower, and our resolution times are going to be slower. Now, what did we actually just do there? So the next time someone's sitting there thinking, okay, well, I have this problem that I need solved, my computer's down, I can't access the software, I can either go to the portal and I'm guaranteed a response within an hour, or I could Slack Rob and say, hey, this thing is down, and my response rate's going to be a lot longer, probably a day, let's say, for example. I'm going to go to the portal because I want a faster response and I want a faster resolution. So we need to do those two key things every single time we build a new process. And this does not just apply to IT. This does not just apply to technical teams, to engineering teams. It applies to literally everything that you do in Jira, outside of Jira, and in any kind of process, in any kind of execution layer that you build. And this is what we ground our grid operating system in. Make following easier than bypassing. We remove all the complexity, we remove the chase that we have in our company, and we remove everything that makes following the process harder. We're following the unintended process harder, right? And we make the intended thing the easiest, most frictionless thing that you could possibly do as a team or as a company, right? You could take a marketing team as an example. If they don't track certain things within, Jira and their marketing board, for example, make the alternative harder for them. Make tracking in the board as easy as you possibly can. Meet them where they're at. Build in Jira integrations into your Slack if they love to use Slack. Build Jira integrations into their to-do tool if they use that. Use AI to create tasks for you, to check tasks for you. There's a lot of ways to simplify things nowadays. that we can get really, really creative with to make sure our intended process is literally the most simple, the most frictionless thing that you could go through, that it's always going to be guaranteed to be adopted by our teams and by our companies. So that is our North Star here, right? We want to approach every single new process that we build. Everything we're going to be talking about is going to be how do we make things as simple as we possibly can and delete all the complexity and remove the chase from our companies by building a really, really great and robust execution layer. Real quick, I know this looks like a lot, and if you'd rather just have me and my team help implement exactly what I'm showing you in this video, that is exactly what we do. If you're interested, hit the first link in the description below.